It's Kirei here for Hit Kit Club, and I have a brand new layout using the fabulous December kits. And my focus was that lovely Scallop Arch metal die, and I am also using elements from the main kit, the Embellishment Kit, and the Cardstock Kit. So I've pulled out a number of elements. I've got rub-ons, epoxy stickers, foam stickers, and ephemera, and then I have the Let's Celebrate pattern paper. But firstly, I've cut out or die cut 6 of the Scallop Arch shapes, and I've used the cardstock kit. So I've used the pink, which is called Cupid, evergreen, which is obviously green, cherry, which is that reddish colour at the end there, cinnamon, which is the orange, butter, obviously yellow, and the Arctic blue. Then I've also cut some of the circles from this Let's Celebrate paper that you saw just before. And I've gone with tone on tone. So I'm sort of going for matching. And then I've also bringing in here, as you can see, elements from the ephemera. So I'm just having a play, seeing how it all looks before I get anything stuck down. So then I decided to use the Scallop Arch pieces actually as a background to my layout. Initially, I thought I was going to sort of layer them up like a rainbow style. But when I had them down next to each other, I realized they sort of fit together really nicely. So I thought I'd make them a real feature and they would become my background. So as you can see here, I have them going across the layout, and I'm just getting those stuck down. And unusually for me, I am keeping them flat, but I am just sticking them on that straight edge. So you still get the sort of movement from the scalloped edge. Then I have my 2 photos and I'm just working out what I'm going to back them with. I couldn't quite decide. Obviously, because I was layering them up over the different colours, I thought I'd go with the matching, but then I wasn't sure if it would, it was almost blending to it. But actually, I thought, no, that's fine because I will distress the edges, which gives me a bit of a difference anyway from the background, even though it is the same paper. So I've gone with the cherry, which is the reddy tone, and then I've gone with evergreen for that centre photo there. So, like I say, distressing the edges, and that does give me that differentiation. So, yeah, so I'm happy with that. And then once I've got those down and I'm happy with that, I'll get them stuck down and then I can start to add back the embellishments that I was playing around with earlier. So, as always, I add just a little bit of foam tape to the top of my photos so I get that dimension. But I will keep them flat at the bottom, mainly because I find that I'm adding embellishments there that I want to stick over, over the photo. So yeah, it's just easier. So just playing around here, and I do take my time here getting them quite right. They kept catching on the scallop die pieces at the pack, so which is why I keep lifting them up a bit. Anyway, now I'm happy, got them stuck down, just raising the edges, and then we can move on from there. So yeah, so then I did punch or cut the circles from the Let's Celebrate paper, which is in the main kit, and then I decided I was going to distress all the edges of the circles. So that's what I'm working on now, but I'm not going to make you watch me do all of that because obviously it takes a little while. So yeah, I'll just get a few done here and then I will get them placed, and then as if by magic, in just a moment, you'll see all the rest of them are done and pretty much stuck down. There we go. So you can really see actually they sort of sit up from the background. I really like how they look because it gives me that dimension that I like, and also that texture with the distressed edges. So I'm just sticking down the last few elements here. I've got some tiny little ones as well because I really just wanted to mix it up. And then I can bring in the ephemera. So I've got the floral pieces here with the little sprigs as well. And I sort of focused on those initially because I liked, I had the same sort of tone on tone colours, but I do add in some other elements shortly. So, yeah, so I'm happy with how that's starting to look. The one thing I hadn't thought about was where I was going to journal. And initially, I started to think I would journal on the scallop pieces, particularly over to where the yellow and the orange is, because that was the area that I had sort of some space, if you like, a gap. However, I did start to do that and changed my mind. So yeah, so sometimes you do sort of need to think about where you're going to journal because maybe if you don't think about it in the beginning, you end up with actually struggling to find a space that works well with the rest of your design. Anyway, it was okay. It's worked fine because I did add the journaling at the bottom. Okay, so I'm bringing in a few more elements here. So I've got some leaves, I've got a clock there. My photos are from New Year's Eve. So I'm just adding, I've got little cocktails and I've got a little random gingerbread man because he was quite cute. Then I've got these little arch pieces here that replicate the sort of the scallop die, but actually they don't really work. I just didn't like how they look, so they don't stay. Got the title, which is obviously perfect from the foam stickers, New Year's Eve. And then I've got the epoxy stickers, and there were lots of little cocktail glasses. So I've added those in tone on tone to each of the embellishment clusters. So yeah, if you are not a subscriber to the Hip Kit Clubs at the moment, but you're liking what you see and you wanted to give them a go, I do have a 10% discount code, and you will find that in the description below this video. So if you've always wanted to try Hip Kits but weren't sure, here's your chance, because who doesn't love a 10% discount? Okay, and then I brought in these rub-ons, and one side is coloured and the other are silver. And I was decided I was going to go with the pops of silver because I really like those. So I'm just cutting out, and it's always the best thing to do when you're using rub-ons, cut out the ones that you want to use. And then these, I have to say, went on so easily because they're silver and sparkly. When you rub them down, you get a little bit of sparkle on the rest on your paper around it. I just rubbed around it with my finger over the top of them, and that, cleared it. It was perfectly fine, but they go on so easily. So yeah, so I'm adding a few of those to around my clusters, and then I'm bringing in some more of these little epoxy silver stars as well, because it was New Year. It's like a bit of sparkle, of course. So yeah, and then I think I'm pretty much nearly done. I think I add a few more stars at the end, but then that's pretty much it. Yeah, it came together pretty easily. Oh yeah, and of course my journaling, which, as I say, I did end up journaling at the bottom of my layout. So yeah, I'm just making sure my title's stuck down because I hadn't done that. I do always like to add sometimes a little bit of extra glue to make sure it stays on. Here we go. Here's the final layout. I hope you've enjoyed watching the process video. And why don't you give those metal dies a try? They get, this Scallop Arch one did create a fabulous background. I love how it looked. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye for now.